And joyous breath really is going to pick up on a lot of this rising and falling that we just did with the two lights. And so let me just demonstrate this for you first of all, which is that you do come into your feet slightly apart. So you kind of sink in the same way that you would if you were doing rocking motion, but this time your hands are going to come up, right up in front of your chest as if you're lifting up, but your hands, and I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this, instead of it being like rocking motion with your hands are out there more, your hands come up in front of your chest. So it's going to feel much more like a kind of a powerful movement in the center. And as you come up, it lifts you up onto the balls of your feet. So your feet are a little bit apart, but there's this lift. So it's a real combination of a couple of these different moves and getting this sense of coming up. And then once you're up on the balls of your feet, and your hands are just in front of your chest, then I'm going to turn sideways again so you can see what this looks like sideways. Then you come down 4 segments. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just let your wrists turn without any kind of pressure in them, and you're going to return and do the same thing a few more times. So let's just put that together first of all. And there's a couple of other pieces I want to add in as we do that. So first of all, you step out to the left, your hands come down and around as you sink, and you come up in a very strong movement, and the feeling is if you were in an atmosphere, as if you were on Jupiter or some huge planet that had very, very heavy, intense atmosphere. So as you come up, it's not like that going through air, but a very gentle air. It's like you're really feeling a lot more resistance as you come up with your hands. And the same thing is going to happen as you come down. So if you feel all that resistance, let it go for a moment as your hands come around. Now as you come down, push into that air once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then we just turn around and do it again. Now there's one last piece that I want to add in for this. So before we add in going up again, let me just tell you what it is, which is for the first time, there is pressure in your breath. So think of that yoga ujjayi breathing where you kind of breathe in through your nose, but you really feel the pressure at the back of your throat. And so it's got that kind of feeling to it where you're feeling some back pressure as you're doing it. So let's just try adding that internal pressure with the hand pressure. So here we go again. Let's just start right from the resting position, and now we'll go together through the whole sequence. So sinking, foot comes out. Here we go with heavy air and that breath coming in. You come to the top. Now you go out in 4 segments with your breath and your hands. Like that. Turn, come up again. And a 3rd time. And then you just gently come in with your foot to your graceful conclusion. Now the only other thing that I'm going to add to this is that there's a bit of a range on how you do this lifting of your heels when you come down. So as you come up, then you could either come down onto the full foot with the first one, or go slower. Like if you want to stay up a little bit longer, anytime up to the 3rd time down. So you could go, I've been coming down on the first one, but you could also go and then completely plant with your foot by the 3rd one. And by the 4th one, you're really sinking down with it. And then coming up again. So it's a little bit of variation in there. You pick whatever feels comfortable to you. Anytime from first time down the heels touch to the 3rd time down the heels touch. So that's how that movement goes. It's just going out, that heavy air coming up, that breath pressure in the back of your throat, And then the same thing as you come down. And you'll see as my hands come down, there can be a tendency sometimes for people to bounce, and it's very solid when you come to each segment. So, and up. And initially you're going to feel most of the strain as if it's in your hands and arms working too hard, and eventually you'll get a feel for how it's actually giving into the feel of the heavy air. And so it's just a matter of slowly learning to kind of let go of your overworking and to really sense that feel of engaging with the heavy air, the greater charge in the air. It's just really what you're doing is you're increasing your sensitivity to the charge, the molecular field that's actually already there. So that is joyous breath.